So what is the business of aesthetics? Well, you're probably assuming that it has to do with how a product or a package or a campaign looks, its image, its visual elegance. That is not how I am referring to aesthetics. I'm referring to the pleasure that we, and by we I mean humans, derive from perceiving an object or an experience through our senses.
Pauline Brown built and led some of the world's most influential global luxury brands. Brown served as the chairman of North America for LVMH, Moët, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton.
So aesthetic intelligence is not simply an appreciation for beauty, or whatever form that beauty may come, but it's the ability to understand, interpret, and articulate what it is about that beauty that elicits strong and positive feelings. I think it's interesting to note that while we rightfully expect CEOs and business leaders to be facile in disciplines like finance and accounting and operations, we never expect them to be particularly gifted or sophisticated when it comes to creative management and creative development. Steve Jobs, classic example in the world of aesthetics, was a very shrewd businessman. And moreover, he was not an artist. You know, people make a lot of the fact that he studied calligraphy, I think for one semester. But he wasn't a calligrapher. Steve Jobs did not have high EQ, but his, what I'll call here AQ, was off the charts. It's not just that he knew exactly what felt good to him, whether it was the color palettes or the textures or the curvature around an iPhone or a Mac, but was that in leading an organization of what is today well over 100,000 people, he could articulate it in a way that they could, across the board, carry it out to perfection. And that is the kind of intelligence that we often are missing, especially in big corporations. When you think of your favorite restaurant, and if I were to ask you, what is it about this restaurant that you like, I assume you'd all say that the food is delicious. And if I kept probing, you might also say to me, well, the decor is quite lovely. But what you probably wouldn't tell me is the lighting design makes me look really good, or my date across the table looks really good, and yet at the same time I can still read the menu. You probably also wouldn't talk to me about the quality of the acoustics. You might, if I probed, remember that there was pleasant music in the backdrop, but you probably don't know just how powerful some of these other sensorial cues are in making the entire experience complete. The business of aesthetics is about creating value by lifting the human spirit and rousing the imagination. So the aesthetic value of a business may actually be your only, no matter what business, sustainable advantage.